You wanted to start a garden, but you looked at the price of lumber, bricks, and concrete, and you walked away. You've been told that a productive garden requires a massive upfront investment in cedar wood or galvanized steel. But what if I told you that the most fertile, long-lasting garden beds on this planet aren't built with hardware store materials? They are built with the very things the rest of the world calls waste. Today at Evergreen Garden, we are reclaiming the art of the resourceful garden. I am going to show you 7 different ways to build high-performance raised beds using absolutely zero construction materials. We are talking about techniques that copy the forest floor to create soil so rich you'll never need to buy fertilizer again. Stay with me until the final method. It's an ancient technique that turns your garden into a self-watering sponge, and it's the secret behind some of the most successful organic farms in the world. Let's get started.
Method number 1 is the Hugelkultur mound. Hugelkultur is a German term that translates to hill culture, and it is the gold standard for self-sustaining gardening. Instead of building walls, we are building a slow-release battery of nutrients. To do this right, we need to understand the science of the sponge effect. We start by digging a shallow trench in a sunny spot. At the very bottom, we place the heavy carbon, large logs, and thick hardwood branches. This isn't just filler. These logs act as a massive underground reservoir, soaking up winter rains and holding that moisture deep underground. In 3 years, when your region hits a summer drought, these logs will still be damp, providing water to your plants from the bottom up. On top of the logs, we layer green material. This is your fresh grass clippings, spent vegetable plants, and green leaves. This provides the nitrogen spike needed to jumpstart the decomposition of the wood. We finish the mound with a thick layer of loamy soil and a blanket of fully decomposed manure. As those logs break down over the next decade, they release a steady stream of minerals, meaning this bed actually gets more fertile every single year. Method number 2, the kitchen bioreactor. If you have a kitchen, you have a garden. Most people waste immense amounts of energy moving scraps to a compost bin and then moving that compost back to the garden 6 months later. We're cutting out the middleman entirely. By digging out a shallow bed and filling it with chopped fruit peels, vegetable scraps, and dry leaves, we are creating a localized bioreactor. The secret here is surface area. The smaller you chop your kitchen waste, the faster the soil microbes can turn it into plant-available nutrients. We cover this waste with the soil we removed and top it with a layer of manure to seal in the moisture. But here is the golden rule for this method. You must wait 4 weeks before planting. This allows the initial heat of decomposition to settle and the pH level to stabilize. During this month of resting, the earthworms will find your bed and begin the work of tilling it for you.
Method number 3, the long-lasting nutrient bed. For those of you looking for a bed that will produce for decades without ever being dug again, we use the layered shield method. We start by lining the area with thick brown cardboard. This serves a dual purpose. It smothers existing weeds and provides a massive carbon feast for deep soil fungi. On top of that cardboard, we layer hardwood branches, uncooked vegetable scraps, and a light dusting of bone meal for phosphorus. This creates a tiered decomposition system. The top layer of compost feeds your plants this season, while the lower layers break down slowly over the next 3 to 4 years. This ensures that as your plants grow and their roots dig deeper, they are constantly finding new pockets of mineral wealth. It is the ultimate lazy gardener strategy. Do the work once and let the biology do the rest for the next 5 seasons. Method number 4, the woven bamboo circle. Sometimes you want the structure and height of a raised bed without the environmental or financial cost of treated wood. For this, we look to the wattle technique, one of the oldest construction methods known to humanity. We take old bamboo sticks or flexible branches like willow or hazel and drive them into the ground in a perfect circle. A circular bed is mathematically superior to a square one for accessibility. It allows you to reach every single plant from the outside without ever stepping on and compacting the soil. To hold the soil in, we line the inside with repurposed cardboard or thick layers of dried grass. This creates a breathing wall. Unlike wood, which can rot and harbor pathogens, or plastic, which can leach microplastics into your food, this woven wall eventually becomes part of the soil itself. We fill this with a sandwich of loam, dried grass, and well-rotted manure. It's a beautiful, functional piece of living architecture.
Method number 5, the ancient weed reclamation. Most gardeners see weeds as a nuisance to be hauled away. At Evergreen Garden, we see them as dynamic accumulators. Weeds have incredibly deep taproots that pull minerals like potassium and calcium from the subsoil, nutrients that your shallow-rooted vegetables can't reach. When you clear a bed, do not throw those weeds away. Chop them up and bury them at the base of your new bed. By layering these nutrient thieves under a fresh layer of soil and crushed charcoal, you are forcing them to surrender all those stolen minerals back to your crops. We add a specialized mixture of charcoal, a technique that mirrors the terra preta soils of the Amazon, to provide a permanent home for beneficial bacteria. This ensures those nutrients stay locked in the root zone rather than washing away with the rain. Method number 6, the forest floor straight bed. If you prefer a traditional straight garden bed for easy row planting, we use the deep mulch approach. We start by breaking the soil with a garden fork, not turning it over, but just lifting it to allow air to reach the lower levels. Then we lay down a heavy cover crop of green material. By sealing this green layer under a layer of dark, crumbly loam, we are creating the exact biological conditions found on a pristine forest floor. This method prevents soil erosion and ensures that every time it rains, a compost tea is naturally brewed in situ and delivered directly to the roots of your plants. This is how nature has grown the most massive trees on Earth for millions of years without a single bag of store-bought fertilizer. Method number 7, the living soil transition. This final method is about the long-term transformation of your land. As we look across this garden, you'll realize that not one piece of this was bought at a big box store. The wood came from the trees, the fertility came from the kitchen, and the structure came from the earth itself. When you stop seeing your garden as a construction project and start seeing it as a closed-loop ecosystem, the barriers to entry disappear. You don't need a massive budget to have a massive harvest. You just need to understand the language of the soil and the cycles of life and decay. This season, I challenge you to build at least one of these beds. Stop waiting for the perfect materials or the perfect time, and start with what you have right now under your feet. If this video gave you the confidence to start your garden today, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We are building more than just gardens here. We are building a movement of self-sufficiency.
I want to hear from you. Which of these 7 methods fits your yard and your climate best? Drop a comment below. Tell me what you're growing, because we build this knowledge together. Build good soil, and everything else follows. I'm your host for Evergreen Garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, get your hands in the dirt and keep growing.